Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to In the Spotlight with yours truly, the all Paul Holloway. And tonight, as always, along with TJ Albin, our ring announcer, and Jay Hollywood, our reporter and mediator. Now, TJ, why don't you tell these fine folks where they can find us on social media?
Yeah, what's going on, you guys and gals out there? So you guys can catch us at SP Wrestling on all forms of social media. You know, we got the Facebook, we got the Instagram, we got the Twitter. You know, catch us at SP Wrestling or check us out at our website at showcaseprowrestling.com. And definitely do us all a definite favor. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe right now. Click subscribe and also click that little notification button on there so that way you never miss an opportunity to watch us at Showcase Pro Wrestling on YouTube. Jay, we got some great news coming off of Autumn Annihilation. I'm sending it over to you, buddy.
Thanks, TJ. So we just came off of our live event, Autumn Annihilation, where we had jam-packed matches. We're going to go down the card, who won, who lost, who did, who's the new champ, who's not the new champ. We're going to go through it all. We're going to start off with our kickoff show. We have the premier, Luis Leon, versus the mysterious opponent, ended up being Caribbean Kid. The winner was the premier, Luis Leon. I'm going to send it to TJ Albin. That was your pick. Let's hear it.
That was my pick. You know, you wanted to go with the mystery guy, Paul. I mean, a couple of picks that night were mine, but that big one was Luis Leon. You know, Luis Leon versus the Caribbean Kid. Caribbean Kid did have it for a little bit in that match, but one slip up got him on the top rope. Slip, fell. You see him grab it at his knee. Hopefully he's all right. But Luis decided to go up on that top rope. Even Blackheart even said it. Was that bad? That top turnbuckle, was that cursed? No. Hit the top elbow drop. 1, 2, 3. Luis Leon takes the win. Great match, great victory for Luis.
Cool. Paul, you was with the Caribbean Kid. Let's hear it.
So, I was not necessarily with the Caribbean Kid himself. I was with the factor of he had a lot of time to prepare. He had a lot of time to prepare himself for an opponent that he didn't know who was coming out for that curtain. See, Luis Leon, he's a young prospect. He's got a bright future here in Showcase Pro Wrestling, as it's been thoroughly pointed out several times by not just us here, but by Blackheart, by a lot of the people on social media. They've been pointing out the behavior that he has in the ring, and he's been picking up very well for himself. But Caribbean Kid has a lot of experience under his belt as well. Maybe he hasn't been as successful in the past, but I went in there thinking, okay, he has a lot of time to prepare himself for an opponent that has no idea who he's facing. The Caribbean Kid went out there with all the ambition in the world. He went out there and did his best. But I guess sometimes your best just isn't enough, as he did come out on the losing end and did not take the winning purse home.
Cool. So, you know, Luis Leon gains his first victory in singles action. He's going to be on the rise. Like, you know, kid got a bright future. But that's going to take us into our main show with our first tag team division, the Big Nasty Dogs and Pyramids of Power. TJ and I, our pick had it. You know, they did it.
Aladdin and Aladdin ding.
Yes.
All day, man.
They're the new number
Come
one.
on, man.
New number one contender for the SPW Tag Team Champions. TJ, let me hear it.
You know, it's a great win by the Pyramids of Power. Now they have a future shot at those Showcase Pro Wrestling Tag Team titles. Honestly, we haven't seen redemption a little bit in the corner of Buck Nasty and Big Dog Butler. I thought, honestly, he was going to be a big factor in this match, and I thought they might have gotten the win, even though, yes, I was on the side of the Pyramids of Power. But you know what? In the back of my mind, I said, you know what? If redemption is out there, the match is going to change. But you know what? It didn't affect them. At the end of the night, they took the win. They got the future opportunity at the Showcase Pro Wrestling Tag Team titles.
Paul?
Well, can you blame me for picking the champions? I mean, they went in being the most dominant tag team that Showcase has to offer. this hot new tag team on the rise for us. And they came in, like TJ said in the previous episode, with everything to gain, nothing to lose. And I wasn't saying it in a way that undermined them, but in more of a way that I didn't think they were good enough or ready enough to defeat the tag team champions. And can you blame me? I mean, a lot of young upstarts don't get that as lucky as they did, like they did at Autumn Annihilation. I mean, if it weren't for the outside interference of their manager grabbing the title, along with Reverend Redemption, and just playing this tug of war on the outside, distracting Big Dog Butler long enough for them to just, for all of it to explode, they got lucky that they had a 2-on-1 advantage at the end of the match. It wasn't that they out wrestled them. It wasn't that they out, performed them. It was that they got lucky. And I think the next time around, they aren't going to get as lucky because now the big dogs are mad. And you know what happens when the big dogs are mad? They go on the hunt.
Okay, now you're here for tag team wrestling. But that goes into our next match. It was for the Sons of Liberty champion and our new Sons of Liberty champion, the mysterious clown, Mr. Pickles. Sean Candido, the #1 superstar, the Triple Crown champion. Paul, let me hear it.
He disappointed me. I gotta hand it to you guys, for picking Candido. It was a smart pick. I mean, not picking Candido, picking Pickles. He had such a hot streak on the rise, and he was one of those people that took that hot streak and used it for something good. But Mr. Pickles didn't win by clean means. There was a lot of shenanigans going around ringside. I mean, HD3 showing up. What the heck was that? Is he working for Pickles now? Is he Pickles' new spokesperson? Is he the new advocate for him? Matt Thompson coming out, clearly having some animosity towards Sean Candido still. They got a score to settle. I mean, Candido had a lot thrown at him, and I mean, any normal person would be thrown off their game, and all it took was that distraction for Pickles to take the championship away.
TJ.
Well, real quick, I just want to kind of point up the scoreboard a little bit.
Very funny.
Ooh.
Oof.
Ooh.
It'll come back to bite you. Hold on, it'll come back to bite you.
It might, but still, I got 3. I was right.
All right, enough of the showboating. But what
All right. I'm sorry, Paul Holloway. I'm sorry, but
hey, I've earned that right to showboat. You
have earned the right.
You earned nothing. All you do is just run your mouth about how the boss is not as good as you are. Just hey,
I don't run my mouth.
You're so great. Why don't you run the company? Oh wait, you can't.
Okay, guys. Okay,
I'm
down. You guys, we still got to continue with the show.
I'm fine.
I'm good.
I'm
just showing the score. I was just showing the scoreboard.
Yep.
Good.
He's just bragging.
Maybe you agree with me for once.
He's just bragging about how he was right for once in his life. It's okay. Let this moment. There won't be any
put it up on my fridge. That's all that matters. I beat Paul.
Won't be many more of those coming in the future for you, buddy.
All right, guys. We're gonna go into our next matchup. All right.
Wait, hold on. I never brought up the fact of Mr. Pickles.
Oh yeah, you could. Yep.
Are you gonna come down off of your high horse long enough to talk about?
I'm already down, Paul.
Right,
relax. Take some pills. Relax.
Preach to us.
Drink some water. I'll tell you right now, I'm very happy with Mr. Pickles' performance in that match. Even though it was a dirty win, he still won it. He's still a win's a win, and he is now the new Sons of Liberty champion. With Candido, it just wasn't his night, man. With HD3 coming out there and just kind of interfering with what I thought was a good match, it doesn't change the fact that Pickles is now the new champion. It does not change that fact. Pickles, congratulations to him, and let's hope to see how long he can hold that for, huh?
That goes into our next match, Apocalypse. Big Matt Thompson. There was no winner there. Both guys got disqualified in a double DQ. Paul, let me hear it.
Hold on. I just want to recheck the scores now. So does that that even anything out for you? Because
Oh.
you didn't get everything right. No, nonetheless, I didn't get something right either. These two men threw everything at each other, and it was what we were expecting. And we had said it beforehand too. Both these guys needed a bigger challenge from one another, and when we got that bigger challenge for them, it showed what they can handle. Neither man could put either one down. I mean, I don't even think a tranquilizer dart could put them down at that point. They were just throwing hands with one another. They were so caught in the heat of the moment that they both felt the same way when our official decided to try and break up something that meant something to them. And they just got enraged and shoved Frank down. Now, no, I do not condone the actions that were partaked in that matchup. But needless to say, I don't think Frank should have gotten in their way. You don't step up to a guy who's bigger than you and can crush you like a tin can and expect him to listen to you, right? Let alone two guys who would do that to you. I think both men proved something to each other that night and to the rest of the world that's watching them that they're no guy to mess with, either of them. And I cannot wait to see what happens off the back end of this for both of them.
That is true. TJ.
Well, first off, I think the only loser in that match was Frank.
Yes.
Because he's the only one.
But doesn't that really make us winners too? By comparison, it really does make us winners.
It does make us winners. No, hold on, Paul. Hold on.
Getting to watch Frank get shoved down does.
Paul, I'm gonna give you the one on this one. Hold on. I'm gonna give you the one. Okay, there. You got the one. It's a one. You got the one, Paul. But no, so
we're past that.
No, it's all. But going back to Big Matt versus Apocalypse, it was a match that I thought was gonna take it that night. It's two like heavyweights going at it, like two bulls locking horns. That match should have been all out. That match, I think, in my opinion, I think stole the night a little bit. I thought it did for a second, but then with the double disqualification on both of them, it kind of.
I agree. We may need to see a rematch in the future to get a decisive winner between the two. Maybe not now, but there definitely has to be some unfinished business between the two of them.
There definitely is, and like I brought up, the only loser in the match was Frank.
Yeah.
And the fact that he shit his pants in the ring with two super heavyweights.
I would too. What are you talking about? You're telling me you wouldn't?
Depending on the day. I don't know.
Depending on the day.
Depending on the day. I don't know. I think I'll be all right.
I'll tell you where you were shitting your pants. You were shitting your pants when Blackheart decided to finally call you out on your shit.
What? No. What? Being very professional to the boss. Being very professional, No,
that's not what I'm hearing. But all right.
Well, you got other words? I mean,
we'll get past that. It's fine.
All right, let's move on from that.
You guys keep going back and forth. It's going crazy. But talking about our senior official Frank Rocha, he made a big decision in our main event. We had hard-hitting Bobby Oceans versus Vega, the champ. Bobby gets the 1, 2, 3, but Vega gets a sneaky one, puts it in the tights, and Frank Rocha changes his decision and still.
Whoa. Sneaky. Who are you calling sneaky? Hold on. That is veteran instinct. That is smarts. That's brain. He was using his brain. He wasn't being sneaky. I told you, if he's going to keep that championship by any and all costs, it doesn't matter how he wins at the end of the night. He won. All right. And you guys can all talk about how you got all the other matches correct. But guess what? All the other matches were not as important as this match. This was the most important match at the end of the night. The main event. That's why it was on the marquee as the main event. That's why the championship was on the line. They proved to everybody that night why he still is, and likely for a very long time, could even be forever, will be the champion moving forward. Bobby Ocean was just not smart enough to realize what Vega was doing. And I have to applaud him because that was a master at his work. And now, TJ, you can't sit there and complain that Blackheart had anything to do with that. Blackheart was sitting at ringside firmly where everybody could see him. And he had nothing to do with Vega getting handed that victory that night.
TJ, what's your opinion?
I mean, my pick, with Bobby Ocean, he had it. He had it the entire match. I thought he had it at the end. You know, a crafty veteran like Vega knows how to get a win, how to get the job done. And, you know, with sneaking the, I don't even know what to call that thing. I don't even know what to call that thing. Truthfully,
looks like a prison shank.
Looks like a prison shank. But at the end of the night, he got the job done, got the win, and stole a victory from Bobby Ocean.
He didn't steal nothing. He stole nothing, honestly. It would have been a robbery had Bobby Ocean won that night. Because Bobby Ocean has not been working nearly as hard and nearly as long as Vega has.
Okay.
He has built his way up to the point where he's at right now. He is at the prime of his career. And there is nothing that is going to be knocking him down. And not even that Carlos Slavin who wants to run out at the end of the night, sticking his nose where it doesn't belong.
Well, I'll tell you right now, there's unfinished business with those two. There's unfinished business, especially with Carlos coming back. We haven't seen him in a little bit. He's back, looks better than ever, and I think he's ready to step up to the plate and take that belt away from Vega. That's my full-on prediction. He's going to take that belt sooner or later.
So, TJ, you had the honors to do a post-match interview with the SPW champion Vega. Let's take a look at it.
Are you ready? Come on. Hey, Vega, you got a second? Think I can get a post-match interview?
Post-match interview? Are you kidding me? You just saw what happened out there with that no good piece of crap, Carlos Slavin. You saw that?
Yes, I did. Yes.
You know, I thought I got rid of him, but it's obviously he's just like an annoying fly. You just can't squash it and get rid of it, right?
Right. No, I get it. Yeah.
So Carlos, I hope you're watching, and you take a good hard look at what you're never, ever gonna have while I'm the champ. Now, Bobby Ocean, he's hard-hitting. He brought it. But do you really question if the champ was gonna lose the title?
I don't question it now. That was a great win by you.
That's not what I heard. I've been hearing people talking about comments you've been saying about the champ. TJ Alvin, you know, back where I come from, usually we don't take lightly when people make little comments about certain people. But it won't happen again, would it?
No, sir.
That's what I thought. But Carlos Slavin, you want it? Come and get it. Now you know what to do, right?
Thank you.
You look so terrified. Yeah, but how honestly, what was going through your head when you went down to interview? When they told you that Sarge had left for the night and that you were the man to interview him?
I mean, like Sarge ran out the door. I've never seen him run that fast. They told me, "Hey, can you do the interview?" I'm like, "All right, that's fine. Get an opportunity with the champ, get a one-on-one." Yeah, what a
Little did you know
was.
that he had a shank ready in his hand.
Oh, he was ready. He knew. I think he knew I was coming. I think he just kind of like said it.
He's heard all the stuff that you've been saying. He's heard.
I mean, it was he's heard it all, man. He's been watching this stuff just like anybody. Like if anybody at Showcase has been watching this, watching our opinions. One in particular has been my opinion that he's been watching very thoroughly.
I mean, not that any of our opinions really matter in the end of the day, but yeah, it's what it is.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day.
I just laugh at the fact that you talk such a big game, while we're here. But then you go face to face with him, and you look so pale, and you can't even muster up the words. And I can't sit there, I can't help but sit there and have a moment with myself and just say, finally, all these people who peg me out to be a bad guy can see where I'm coming from. You have such a way with, I can't say words because you didn't really say any proper words during that interview, but you have such a way with the way you are as a person, TJ. And you know what? You know what? That's okay. You never stop being you.
No, Paul, I'll tell you this. Everybody's got an asshole, just like opinions. Everybody's got opinions. Everybody's got assholes. I mean, you're just an asshole, man. That's fine.
Hey,
You know?
I'm not an asshole. I'm the all.
Fine, you're all the asshole. I mean,
There you go, guys.
You can blow it out yours.
I mean, that's fine, Paul. That's fine. You talk all you want behind the screen. You talk all you want behind the screen. But,
I'll say it to your face. I said it to your
face. That's fine.
Oh, and what did you do? What did you do? You cowered away from the boss, tried to get away from him, and he pulled you back in.
Because I had a job, Paul. Because I had a job. At the end of that night, you want to have a job at the end of that night, man. I want to know that.
You should be lucky that I'm allowing you to have a job on this show with me.
Hey, guys, relax. You guys been arguing all night.
I got better things to do, man.
It's not an argument. It's a one-sided discussion because TJ knows I'm right.
Sure, Paul.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, Paul. Sure.
All right, guys. So this sums up Autumn Annihilation, our first live event on Facebook. It was big. It was crazy. New champs. Vega still the champ. Big wins, new contenders. Let's go into these power rankings. Just, Autumn Annihilation changes the whole game, okay? And as we go into these singles rankings, still number one, the SPW champion, Vega at 3-0. Paul, let me hear it.
My boy, my man, Vega. I mean, I said it all that I needed to say. He has been proving all the people like TJ who say that he's been handpicked opponents, that he's been handed everything since before March Anniversary. And, I'm sick of it because no matter what you thought beforehand, there is no denying Vega after what happened at Autumn Annihilation. Sure, people are not going to be happy with the way it happened, but such is life. You move on and you deal with it. The tough will stay tougher. The rich will stay richer. The poor and the weak will stay the way they are. At the end of the night, Vega proved that he was the stronger, that he was the richer, and that he will always be on top. And honestly, you could expect to see that number firmly where it is. Number one, Vega.
Great. So I'm going to get you in a second. Our number two ranked competitor, the new Sons of Liberty champion, TJ Albin's pick, Mr. Pickles. Let's hear it.
Bro, he should be at 2. He got a great victory. He's been on fire since he's arrived here. This mysterious character in Mr. Pickles is on the rise. Just taking the Sons of Liberty championship away from Sean Candido, who knows who's going to stop him. And I think that number is still going to stay where it is at number 2 for Mr. Pickles as Sons of Liberty champion.
Great. So, number 3. They didn't have a match at Autumn Annihilation, but came out at the end to stop Vega for cutting Bobby Oceans at 2-0, Carlos Slavin. Paul.
He needs to stop sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Honestly, Vega dispatched of him at March Anniversary. He has nothing else to complain about. I mean, he has been doing nothing but whining and complaining and taking so much time to beat these opponents that have little to no credibility to them. And he still sits there and complains that Blackheart's the one who's holding him back, that Vega's the one who's holding him down under the water like a shark. Dude, man up, earn your way to the top. You can't, like Blackheart said at the end of the show, the way he closed up, you cannot earn a championship match just by running through those curtains and sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. Carlos is somebody that throughout his career in Showcase has done a lot of things that may work in his favor for people to believe that he belongs at the top, with those names that belong in the contendership for the championship. But he's done so much, I mean, lack thereof of doing much, to actually put himself in that position. He cannot get handed anything in this company. And TJ can say, oh, well, Vega's been getting handed all these opponents, but Vega hasn't been getting handed just any opponents. Blackheart's doing an international exchange, a national, international, across the country, across different countries. And he's just giving people opportunities. He gave Carlos an opportunity, and guess what? Carlos failed just like everybody else.
So TJ, you had an interview with Carlos Slavin at Autumn Annihilation. How did that go?
Well, I mean, it speaks in the footage, man. Carlos is back in Showcase and has one thing in mind, and that's to take Vega on for that Showcase Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title. There's one goal in mind. No, like he said, no offense to Bobby Ocean. He came out, he did a job, he helped him out, right? But the goal is still the same at the end. That Showcase Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title. And that's where this goal does not stop for him. I have seen him since he started to where he is now. I have never seen him as fired up as he is right now for that Showcase Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title.
Honestly, in that interview, he looked like a crazed madman, and I don't blame Blackheart for keeping him away from Vega because, honestly, he'll turn into damaged goods eventually if he continues to act the way he's acting. He's acting like a child who didn't get what he wanted on Christmas. And you know what? Speaking of Christmas, guys, we have another show coming up in December. It's the holiday season. I got a message from Blackheart before we started recording, and he said not to disclose much of the information, but that I can tell you that we will be producing another live stream in December.
Okay.
'Tis the season to get showcased. And just like Carlos crying about how he didn't get what he wanted, there'll be another group of people online whining and crying about how they didn't get their favorite wrestling back. Guess what? It doesn't matter what your favorite wrestling is. You chose to watch Showcase. Doesn't matter. We're producing live streams, right? Right? And, they're going to act like whiny little children because it's not their favorite company. It's not their favorite wrestlers. Vega's still on top. He's the champion. We don't like him. Oh, he's cheating to win. Oh, God, I can't take it with some of these people who complain about Vega being on top, who complain about people like Pickles winning a championship. Jeez, guys. Maybe why don't you step into the ring, right? Why don't you step into the ring and prove that you can do any better? That's all I'm saying. Like Carlos, prove to us that you're not a whiny little child on Christmas morning who didn't get what he wanted. Okay? Stop whining, crying, and complaining, and be a man and earn your championship match.
Great. As you say, get in the ring and train. That's going to take us to our next commercial. Check it out.
By me. Hi, I'm TJ Alvin, your ring announcer for Showcase TV and Showcase Pro Wrestling. Hey, are you tired of watching wrestling at home on Monday nights and Wednesday nights?
Yes!
You want to live your dream to be a professional wrestler?
Yes!
You can at the Showcase Pro Wrestling Training Center.
What?
That's right. All you have to do is get through the hardest door, that front door. And we can make your dream become a reality.
What?
All you have to do is start now.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Go to spwrestling.com and sign up today.
And welcome back, and I hope you enjoyed that commercial. You can find us on all forms of social media at SP Wrestling. Go to showcaseprowrestling.com for more information about our training center located at 126 Main Street, Woonsocket, Rhode Island. But now let's turn our attention back to the rankings. Jay, who do we got?
All right, so as of right now, we have a little tie. All right, it's the first time we get a little tie. All right, the
Early on,
fifth
too. That's great.
and the sixth ranked Apocalypse and Big Matt Thompson. They both stand at 1-0 and 1, and Thompson stands at 1-0 and 2. It can't get more, we can't put one over. It's not going to happen. So as of right now, they're sitting at the 5 or 6 slot. TJ, talk to me.
I mean, one of these days we're gonna have to see that, get straightened out. Like we brought up, that match was unfinished. That match needs to have a winner, and I think that's gonna be the decide on who steps up in the rankings. Is that winner, either if it's Big Matt or if it's Apocalypse. It was like we brought up before. It was a hard fought match. It's a hard fought match against two of these big guys. I mean, unfortunately, with the double disqualification, now we have no decisive winner. So I think we definitely, even us, we're fans ourselves. We want to see a winner on that. I would love to see a winner on that. I know you guys definitely want to see a winner on that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the fact that we didn't get a winner is kind of okay to me in a way, because both men were trying to prove something that night, and just because they didn't beat one another doesn't mean that they didn't prove their point. They proved that neither one of them could be knocked down, that neither one of them would stay down. And eventually, when we do get that rematch, if it ever happens, maybe we can finally settle who will be higher than the other, because it doesn't matter if Big Matt Thompson already has another draw under his record, because he drawed with the same person who also drawed. And neither one of them won. I get why neither one of them was higher than the other. Doesn't matter what happened in the past. It matters about what happened at Autumn Annihilation and what's going to happen going forward. It's simple as that. I mean, both men have so much to prove, but I don't think that either one of them did not prove it at Autumn Annihilation. They threw everything that they had at one another, and it was just not enough for either one of them to go down. And it's a scary thought that neither one of them could beat one another. It's scary.
So, Paul, I do agree with you. Two big guys, they're going to have to fight it out eventually. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But that takes us to our 7th ranked competitor in the Premier, Louis Leon. He got his first singles division win. He's sitting in the 7 rankings at 1-1. What you think, Paul?
I mean, he proved me wrong, which is okay. I have no problem being wrong, unlike TJ sometimes. But it's okay. He had so much to prove that night, especially when he had a guy that he had no idea who was coming out of that curtain. And it's not to knock what Caribbean Kid did. He threw everything he had out there, and it was just not enough. And that one little slip up, it altered the entire match. It altered the way that he was able to try and fight for the rest of the match. Because Lewis saw that like a young, hungry shark or a young, hungry wolf leading one of the pack, and he attacked. And he was so focused, and he won the match. He took advantage of something that he was lucky to have happened to him, because it garnered him a little bit more respect in the back and a little bit more for him to have under his belt going forward, because he can now say that he has a victory and he can ride that wave of momentum. But if he doesn't, he's going to crash and burn real quick. He just needs to not be arrogant about it. And I think that's a big problem with young guys like him. He might get a little bit too cocky because of that victory. His head might get a little bit bigger. So let's just hope he can remain focused going forward.
Oh, TJ?
I mean, he's doing better than Paul already in the rankings. That's one thing for sure.
Okay. Unlike him, I haven't had matches, so I can neither say that I've been winning or losing. So just to be proving a point there, he's been a hell of a lot while I've not been losing a hell of a lot.
That's fine, Paul. But I see this kid coming into the train center, coming in, first one in, last one to leave. He puts in the work, he puts in the time, and just him moving up in the rankings to where he's at, where he was before, to where he is now. He's a star on the rise, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of him. Just with the one win, I think he's kind of destined to move up a lot more in the rankings. I think he's going to do some big things in Showcase. Just give him time. I think he's going to do big things.
Yeah. So as Lewis, gains momentum and moves up in the rankings, I did skip one number. If you guys didn't notice, the number 4 ranked competitor.
Skipped one number
down. The number. What do he calls himself? The
superstar.
Right? The superstar.
Yeah, the number 1.
Now, the superstar, Sean Candido, is our number 4 ranked competitor at 1. 1 and 1. Okay? So
you can't write that.
I mean, no, you really can't, honestly. Now, not to say that I'm ashamed of what happened. He was my pick. He was, honestly, and mainly because he was somebody who was able to beat me first, for one, point number 1. Second, he has been doing this for so long, but in his career, and in any career, you're going to know that losses and wins sometimes don't matter in the end. It matters about how you get back up from that loss or how you continue to move forward from that victory. But with all that shenanigans going on the outside with HD3, Matt Thompson still wanting to get his hands on Candido, he just has a lot to focus on. And it's not just one thing for him. It's a lot of things. A, getting that championship back. B, figuring out what the hell HD3 was doing out there. C, he's got a little bit of animosity and a little unfinished business with a near 7-foot giant in Big Matt Thompson. I mean, going down in the rankings isn't necessarily a bad thing on paper. But in person, sometimes it affects you who you are. And let's just hope that the superstar, Sean Candido, can continue to push forward and climb back up the ladder. He's done everything he can at that point. It's up to him whether or not he's going to sink or whether or not he's going to swim.
Right. TJ, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to actually agree with Paul, yeah, surprisingly, huh? Yeah.
I guess surprises can happen at any time, people.
Yeah. I coach baseball, and I tell these guys. So I coach baseball, and one thing I tell these kids, you have to have short memory. You strike out, you just pick yourself up, get out there, get some defense in. That's what Candido has to do. Has to have short memory on this. The short, you don't hold it. You don't hold the loss against you. You just move on from it. You adapt from it. You move on from it, and you move forward. Yeah. Now we look at the guy who kind of interfered in this match. Actually, 2 of them, HD3 and Big Matt. With Big Matt Thompson, both of them were effective in this match to him to affect his loss. Like I said, short memory. That's all he has to do is just have short memory. He's been around the business. He's been in the business for a long time. He's a veteran in this ring. And he's had tougher losses than that. That's just another day at the office. He's going to come back, and I think we're going to see him move up in the rankings hopefully soon.
Let's hope Blackheart has a performance evaluation coming up soon for you because, man, I don't see that grade looking too good. You might get a 1 on that one.
I'll just go into that like Candido. Superstar is number 1. I'll just go into that no problem, like a superstar, man. I'll go into that performance review like a superstar.
See, this is why you don't wrestle. This is why you talk and announce the people who do wrestle.
Okay, Paul. That's fine.
As you guys continue fighting,
Listen, he makes it easy for me. I'm sorry.
all show. But
Ladies and gentlemen, the all Paul Holloway. I'm sorry. I make it easy
Thank
for
you.
him. Let's just give him a round of applause
Thank you.
because I apparently make it too easy for him.
yep.
Hey, you're an easy guy. What can I say?
I'm
Hey,
easy
guys,
going, no? I'm easy
so
going. Nothing
that
touches
right
me, man.
there,
Nothing.
that right there closes our rankings, our top 7 going into the next, part of our, showcase TV shows leading up to now big news, another live event coming your way in the holiday season.
It's fresh from the boss himself. I can send you.
Hopefully, Paul doesn't have the day off that night. Hopefully, Paul can actually be there.
Yeah, I want to see the all Paul Holloway in the ring.
Listen, if I didn't have to leave because of TJ's actions, then I would have.
My actions.
They
Right.
were. You
Okay.
have a lot that you had to settle through with the boss. All right, and I didn't want to.
Oh, too much tension for you?
I didn't want to burden you with my presence being there because I know the spotlight's always on me, and I guess in a way, the spotlight had to be you in that moment. It had to be on you because the boss
I'm sorry.
was grilling you. He was ready.
I'm sorry, Paul, that the spotlight wasn't on you that night. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the all Paul Holloway. Let's give him another round. Let's give him another
Ladies and
round,
gentlemen, doing his job right for once, announcing the all Paul Holloway, TJ, the announcer, Albin.
Great. So you guys are a funny crew to work with. I'm telling you, they're a really funny crew. But
honestly, I don't get paid enough to work with him, so. It's okay.
so
Hey, I'm just here, man. I just get the call. I got to deal with you.
Quarter
I
of
say,
my
that's
paycheck.
fine.
Quarter of my
For about-
paycheck goes to you, so it's because you're here. I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry that I'm taking a little bit out of your paycheck, Paul.
Yeah, you are.
okay. So Paul, you got the night off at Autumn Annihilation. TJ, you did your job. You host, you were rigging outs, you did your job. Now, Paul, do your job and close us out.
See, TJ, this is how you do it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in the spotlight with yours truly, the all Paul Holloway. And as always, to my reluctance, TJ, Albin, Jay Hollywood, I'm the all Paul Holloway, signing us out.